Party people, happy Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday or whatever day you're listening to us or watching us. We're back with another episode of Let's Talk About It with Jaiden and Faith in our emotion series for season 2, and we are so ready to get in our feels this week and dive into a new emotion. But before that, Jaiden, what the heck is up?
Well, hello guys of YouTube and Apple Podcasts and Spotify and Simplecast and everybody who loves Let's Talk About It. I love you guys. What the heck is up?
Whoa, good morning.
I have my fizz today, so I'm really just like jumping out of the bed, getting ready to go. I'm excited for the day. But honestly, I have a lot of updates today. I wrote them down in point form.
Okay, you go first then. You go for it.
Okay, first little life update. I have so many birthdays coming up.
That's fun.
I know, like our friend Tawny's birthday is coming up, and then the literal day after is Vic's birthday, which is Connor's brother's girlfriend.
Nice.
Love her. So excited to give her her gift. If she's listening, you're gonna love it.
Nice.
And then Faith and I were talking about like birthdays. We're like, okay, whose birthday's in January? Like February, March, April, May, June. And there's a lot of birthdays in September. Like Christy's birthday, Jill's birthday. Like I feel like Virgo season is just popping off.
Virgo season is strong. Like lots of Virgos out there. Shout out to our Virgos.
Shout out to our Virgo friends.
Yeah. I love that.
And then my second update was my Sephora package that never showed up.
Bum, bum, bum.
Did my neighbor steal the package?
Bum, bum, bum.
Who will know, people?
We're never going to find out. It's gone.
I'm
sorry. It's gone.
It just never showed up. So I said, Sephora,
Jaiden the robot's back.
where's my package at? Am I back?
Very glitchy there for a second. But I think we heard you say, girl, where's my package at?
Boom. That's exactly what I said. Okay. So I messaged Sephora and I was like, hello, I need my goods. Because, it's skincare goods and you need that.
Yeah, we need that. Absolutely.
And last time my Sephora package was delivered, like a couple months ago when I first got my first shipment of skincare, it went to like my neighbor down the road.
That's weird.
And I was like, that's not my address. It's be on the house. Whatever. And then their daughter or son opened up my package thinking it was like a birthday gift. So that's kind of sad.
Which is like illegal. I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to open other people's mail, but
it's fine. If it was a kid, if they're being truthful, then like whatever. But I wonder, my brain goes here, which is kind of bad. I wonder if obviously it says my name on it. So I wonder if they opened it and then we're like, we don't like this package. We can give it back to her. And then maybe they just liked this package that came to their door this time.
So they decided to keep it. Wait a second. Your order that you like reordered when you called Sephora and because you didn't get it, it still isn't at your house. That's what you're saying.
Yes. It's still not at my house. It's supposed to come actually today.
Okay, so we don't know they stole the second package yet because it hasn't been delivered yet.
We know they stole a package back in April.
Okay.
But then they returned it because they didn't like what was inside.
Okay.
And then they stole a package that didn't show up that was supposed to show up on the 3rd. And then I reordered it and it's supposed to come today. So will they steal it round 3 technically?
Okay, but for legal reasons, we don't know that the neighbors actually stole the second package. We are just assuming.
This is all speculation.
This is speculation. But for legal reasons, I'm stating we do not know that the neighbors down the street stole the package.
They're very nice people. I'm not
for legal reasons.
But Sephora, this is a you problem. You're giving it to the wrong people. So stop doing that.
Okay, but is it a Sephora problem? Because your address is on the package. We've talked about this before, and you said it's only Sephora packages, but I still think your address is right there. Like, maybe it's not the actual FedEx or UPS or Canada Post people's, like, that's doing the delivery. Maybe it's the people, like, packing the truck and, like, putting it on the wrong truck. I don't know. But it just, like, if your correct address is on there, I don't see why it keeps not being sent correctly to your house.
Right.
By
So
either FedEx, UPS, or whatever.
Honestly, I think that I'm just cursed when it comes to Sephora packages, and that maybe the universe just is like, stop spending your money there. It's not worth it. See, it's never coming. So just stop.
Okay, but is this your Tatcha cleanser?
It is some eye cream because girls got bags and dark circles.
Okay.
It is 2 ordinary niacinamide things for pimples because girls also got pimples and maskne. We all know that.
Yep.
And then it is one more thing that clearly isn't that important if I can't remember.
So it's not your Tatcha oil cleanser?
No, because you told me, guys.
Okay, yeah, I said a lie last week. I would like to issue a correction to anyone listening. The Tatcha cleanser is not $32, except I think there was a promo happening when I bought mine. And I had points where I could get money off. That's what it was.
Well, Faith, I would like to have points.
Okay, but to be fair, when I bought it, it was $32.
Oh my gosh. Guys, do you want to know how much it actually is?
I'm $62, isn't it?
Literally half the price, like times 2, and that's how much it is. I was like so excited.
Super sorry, everybody.
I'm like, Tatcha. And then I look and I'm like, no, I can't. Anyways, that's okay. Little misunderstanding.
So sorry to anyone out there that was listening and had the same incidents happen. But if you have points, use your points and get it for cheaper. It lasts forever.
Just wanted to clear that up for
just in case anyone else is trying to go buy some cleanser.
For our ladies on a budget, you know?
Yeah.
And then my last little update is weather. Okay, guys. I don't know how much I can trust a Facebook ad, but like it was one of those like Facebook news articles, you know, that like all the grandparents share on Facebook.
Yeah.
And it said cold front coming in September, expect snow.
Okay, here's my thing, Jaiden. This is the teacher in me coming out because this is the first thing we teach our students when we're doing research in science. Did you click on the article and actually read it, or did you just read the headline and assume that the apocalypse is coming?
Okay, I know where this is going.
Don't go read the article now. Answer my question. When you first saw it and wrote this update, did you only look at the headline?
Okay. Yes.
Yes, you did. Okay. So chances are, because I don't like the winter, I don't like driving in the snow, so I am checking the weather every half an hour. No joke. When articles like that come up, you have to click on them because chances are it's for like Alberta.
I know. Okay.
You know what I mean?
But all I did was I was like, wow, that'd be something cool to talk about on the podcast. Let me have my moment.
No snow is coming to where we live.
Wait, just watch. Watch a little flurry
I have a wood
week.
desk. I knocked on wood because that's a strong no. But speaking of weather, I just want to take a second and shout out any of our listeners or viewers that are on the West Coast right now, especially in America. The West Coast is literally on fire. Oregon, Washington, and like Northern California. So I saw there's like over 15,000 firefighters working to hopefully get those fires out, and it's pretty crazy over there. So just sending all of the positive vibes and good thoughts and prayers, and hopefully that gets under control soon, or at least closer to being under control, and you can see blue skies again soon and not just wake up to orange every day, which is terrifying. But yeah, sending our thoughts and prayers over to all of our West Coast listeners and viewers, and stay safe.
Please, please, please stay safe. If anybody saw me do this, that's me sending
good vibes.
Good vibes through the screen, okay?
For Jaiden's good vibes. I love it.
And yeah, those are pretty much all of my updates.
Wow. That's exciting for you. Aside from the stealing and the apocalypse and the having to spend money on birthday gifts, but that's okay.
It's all worth it.
It's all worth it. I don't even have like anything I really can tell you guys. I did have an existential life crisis for 24 hours. Did a lot of crying in my car and talking to the universe. But we're better. We're in a good place. We're going to be in a good place. It was a lot. It was literally like,
it's fine.
I did something and I was like, the universe is going to kick me in the butt. I just know it. And no joke, 12 hours later, it was bad. Existential crisis. I felt the bad karma. I apologized. Me and the universe had a good chat. We're okay. It's going to be fine.
You know what? It
happens to everyone.
It
okay?
happens.
We all have 24-hour life crises.
Oh my gosh. Sometimes they're longer than 24 hours. It's all good.
You know what though? The 24-hour ones I think are the most intense, because instead of feeling a little bit of bad feelings over like the course of like a month or however long your life crisis is,
right,
you feel it all in 24 hours and it's a lot.
And it's like jam packed.
It's a lot. And all you can do is cry in your Jeep. That's it.
It literally hits you.
All you can do.
Hits you like a truck.
True.
And it's like, I'm going to go back and forth over you 12 times and then I'm going to drive off.
Just until you get it. Yeah. And it was really crazy though, because I was listening to the Mystic Michaela podcast, Know Your Aura. We've talked about it before. It's one of my favorite podcasts. I'm trying to get a reading with her. She has a wait list that's like over a year, but like wow. I put my name down for an email one and a phone reading. So like crossing my fingers. I'm part of her like Mystic Michaela Spiritual Family Facebook like podcast group. So in my email, I was like, I'm part of, like, I'm in the Facebook group. Like, I've been listening since day one. Please give me a reading, blah, blah, blah. But she was talking about, like, connecting with, like, your intuition and, like, your spirit guides and all that stuff. And she's like, for some people, it's, like, talking out loud. For some people, it's meditating. For some people, it's whatever. And so as I was having an existential crisis in my Jeep yesterday, it was yesterday, I'll be honest, it was yesterday. And talking out loud, I literally was like, I just need a sign, like point me in the right direction, like just help me out. And literally my phone vibrated and I have this like quote app on my phone that like pops up. It's called Motivation. And it literally was like, don't let pain define you, let it refine you. Oh. And I was like,
you're like loud and clear.
And I stopped crying and went, okay, I understand. Thank you very much. And like got out, went inside my house. Like that was actually kind of wild now that I think about it.
Yeah. Holy crap. Cause you literally were like throwing your hands up.
I was literally in a crisis. I felt terrible. I felt the worst I've felt in a long time. And I was like, I just need something, point me in the right direction. Like help me do whatever. And this quote, don't let pain define you, let it refine you. I was like, wowza, okay. Loud and clear.
Well,
that clear.
That hit me right in the freaking gut. Like,
yeah.
Wow.
And it's this quote app, like, sends you quotes. Like, you can set it to however many you want during a day. And I didn't even realize what time it was. So it was scheduled to get a quote, but these quotes can go anywhere from like motivation to love to family to relationships. Like, it's all just like general stuff. So the fact that that was the quote that popped up literally at that time after I asked, please help,
right,
was kind of crazy.
I'm very impressed with the universe.
Kind of crazy. Yeah. The universe was like, we're going to make you really reevaluate your life here for a second, but then don't worry, we're going to pick you up when you've fallen 12 feet into the ground. You know? I respect that.
No, yeah, we love that.
Stay humble.
Yeah. Stay humble. Karma's real.
Yeah.
Don't let your brain trick you into funny little things. And like,
we're just telling ourselves a lot of things we need to hear.
Know your worth. Know your worth, girl.
Yeah, totally. But that's my life.
Those were some great updates. Like,
guys, it all happened literally last night. Good thing. We love content.
Came just in time.
Came just in time. They were like, Faith's podcasting tomorrow. We got to hit her with this crisis now so she can learn from it, talk about it on the pod. I'm down for that. It's honestly fine.
Oh my gosh. Well, speaking about life updates and whatever
and our
is happening in our crazy weeks and lives and whatever the heck is going on in this world, let's just go right to the 3 Gs.
Let's do it.
The good, the great, the gross. let's see how our weeks have been going besides our little mishap. Let's just see how they've been going so far.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
So I'll kick us off with my gross of this week. And Nicholas, I know you're listening. It's not something weird this time.
So you guys know Nicholas. If you listen to season 1, he was our guest for episode 15. If you haven't, you should go check that out. That's a very vulnerable episode. We write a letter to our past selves. We talk about what we would change, what we wouldn't change, all that stuff. It's really great. Check that out. Not on YouTube, sorry, only on the podcast apps, but still a great listen nonetheless. But he was sending us messages as he was listening to last week's episode. And he's like, why are Jaiden's grosses always so weird? And I was like, her eyelids were dry last week. That was her gross.
I can't make this stuff up, people. It's my life. Welcome to my life.
Okay, we love it.
So my gross this week are my spending habits.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Okay, I've been really ordering everything and anything I can get my little hands on. Like, there's no need or want list. It's just a buy list. And it needs to stop.
I think it's really going to stop starting on Monday.
I
only say that because our lives are going to get back to like a weekly schedule.
Mm-hmm.
And we won't have time to think about buying things. You know what I mean? Like, we won't have time to just like sit and go on our computer and see what we can order.
No, exactly.
So I think you're going to be okay when this episode comes out.
Well, fingers crossed, people. Like, send some good vibes because your girl is like running low, if you catch my drift.
I catch it.
So, as of tomorrow, because Faith and I are actually going shopping in London today. Love that for me.
She's talking about her spending habits. In my brain, I'm like, I'm not going to say it because I'm going to talk about it later, but I have some thoughts.
So, as of tomorrow,
Jaiden,
because I'm going to buy stuff today.
Starting tomorrow. My gross is still a gross, but I'm not going to fix it till tomorrow.
So I'm going to start budgeting and monitoring my spending again tomorrow.
Just a full 24 hours later, it's fine. I know I have a problem. I'm acknowledging the problem. I'm not fixing it yet, but I will when I'm done shopping.
When I'm done
feeding into the problem, then I'll fix it.
Guys, we're going to Aritzia. So
I'm dead. Oh, I'm so excited. I can't even talk about it.
Right. So like, yes, my spending habits are going to be terrible there, but I'm going to have cute clothes.
Right. And that's worth it.
See, it's a really unhealthy habit, but anyways, I'm going to become healthier and I'm going to start budgeting and monitoring
there you go.
my spending and really force myself to start saving more because I'm putting this out into the universe and everyone please hold me accountable. If you see me buy anything after tomorrow, food, anything, just kill me because I'm trying to buy a car.
You know what you got to do? Make it your phone background.
Yeah, because it worked for you.
Let me tell you about manifesting. Make it your phone background.
So now that I put that out into the universe, I need to be held accountable. So if you see me post a little drink on Instagram from Starbucks, be like, bad.
Hey, I told you about the budget tracker and expense tracker that I have on my phone. Shout out to some girl on TikTok. I wish I knew who it was. If I find it, I'll put it in the description so you guys can have it too. But
let me tell you, I budgeted my month of July and
good.
I did great that month. I was like, wow, you don't really realize how much money you spend on like the little things. Like for me, I didn't realize how much I spend on gas because you just need it. So you always just do it no matter what.
I don't even want to think about how much money I spend on gas.
Just don't even put it in the budget.
Yesterday, Jaiden and I were doing deliveries for our merch, and Jaiden's like, Jaiden drives till her gas light comes on. That terrifies me. I'm the person that fills up my tank at a quarter tank, and Jaiden lets her freaking gas light come on, and she pushes it to the limit. That's terrifying for me.
Well, look, that's what the light's for. You wait for it to turn on. And
no, that is not what the light is for. That's like you've gone too far. Turn back now.
Like, eject.
But what I was gonna say was, we went to go get gas. Jane's gas light's on. She fills up her little caliber. She's like, it was only $40.
Yep.
I was like, I can't remember the last time I spent $40 on gas. And I was like, usually I think like the cheapest I've ever like filled up my tank for was like 55. And she's like, that's really good. Like, that's only $15 more than me. And I said, Jaiden, mine is usually at a quarter tank or just like under a quarter tank, like a quarter tank of gas. And she goes, oh.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, that's the difference. That's the difference.
Because at first I was like, wow, 55, like that's not bad, like for a whole freaking Jeep. And then I was like, wait. She never lets it go to E. She always fills it up at like a half, quarter tank. I'm like, that's really bad.
Not a half tank, a quarter tank of gas.
Quarter tank of gas. And
you can go far from a half to a quarter tank of gas.
True.
So I pushed that to the limit, but the quarter tank is basically empty for me. That's too risky. I don't live my life on the edge like that. That's too risky.
But long story short, guys, just yell at me if I buy anything or even entertain the idea of purchasing something. Like I said, even if it's food, like I can make something at home. Just help a sister out.
No problem.
Okay.
No issue yelling at you.
Quick little story time. Super quick. I'll make it fast. I'm going to talk about that rude girl at Dairy Freeze.
Yeah. And this kind of hurts my soul a little bit because one, I had a lot of friends that work there because it's like literally 3 kilometers from my house. It's so close. I had a lot of friends that work there. As a teacher, I have a lot of students that work there. So when I heard this story, my heart like kind of broke because I was like, I hope it wasn't like someone I know that was a female dog to you.
Oh no. Oh, sorry. I'm back. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope it wasn't someone you knew either. But
we'll never know. But karma will get them. Karma will get them.
We know that. But basically, my cousin and I went to Colasantes, and then we went to Dairy Freeze.
How did you just say that?
Colasantes.
Okay, go ahead. No, it's fine.
I'm
really bad at always correcting people when they say things funny, so I'm not gonna. It's okay. Go ahead.
I'm Colleen's daughter. She says everything wrong, so okay. I think it's by habit.
We love her anyway.
Love her anyway. Love you, Mom. I know you're listening. Okay, but my cousin and I went to Dairy Freeze after, and we're like, oh my god, we're gonna get ice cream. It's gonna be great. Yum. The line was super, super long, so I get that they were busy, so it probably was like a little bit overwhelming, but like you're in customer service, relax. Like you signed up for it. That's kind of rude, but it's fine. So we're waiting like maybe a 20-minute wait. We finally get up to the window. She doesn't even call us over, first off. She just goes, and I'm like, okay. So I walk over, and she's like, what would you like? And I go, hi, like I would like a small vanilla ice cream with Smarties and cookie. And before I could even say dough, she was like, we don't have cookie dough.
Now, I would just like to preface, anyone that is a Dairy Freeze regular knows that there's a couple, not issues with the way Jaiden was ordering, but at Dairy Freeze, the only soft serve they have is vanilla. And they don't do like extra small, like kid size, small, medium, large. They do like, I'll have like a 325. They say like the price. And they do have Smarties, but they don't have cookie dough. That's all I'm going to say. For those of you that don't know, Dairy Freeze, it's like a little drive up, old timey little ice cream shop in this like small town that has the best soft serve. And usually they're very nice people. However, not all the time, apparently.
Okay, well then that makes sense for what she said after, but still, like, if she knew that I was ordering this way, then she clearly knew that I didn't go to Dairy Freeze all the time.
Yeah.
So then she was like, we don't have cookie dough. And I was like, oh, like, that's fine. I would just like a small vanilla ice cream with Smarties then. And she goes, what size? And I go, oh, just a small, please. Like, that's what I said. And she goes, no, like, we go by prices here. So, like, do you want a kids or a small? And I was like, still a small, please. And it was just like, she literally made me feel like crap. And
yeah, she wasn't, she could have easily been like, oh, well, here we actually do like there's the prices on the window. Like, do you want the 325 or whatever? And then you could have looked, realized that was a small and said, yes, I'll take that one.
Like, literally, I'm just confused though, because if I said small, wouldn't you just assume the 325 small? Like, why did she have to be like, look at the window, like, do you want a kids or do you want a small?
Because
Like,
she woke up on the wrong side of the bed and doesn't know how to handle her emotions and took them out on someone else.
So then it continues, and I go, so I said, oh, like, still a small. And then she goes, okay, so a small chocolate ice cream with Smarties. And I go, no, I want vanilla ice cream, actually, sorry. And then I gotta reenact this for my people. Can you see my paper?
Yep.
So she's writing, and then she said my order wrong, which is fine. It happens.
They don't even have chocolate ice cream, so I don't know why.
I don't know.
Whatever.
She was like, small chocolate ice cream. And I go, oh, no, actually, like, a vanilla ice cream. I'm sorry. And she goes,
so
vanilla ice
for podcast listeners, which are majority of our listeners, Jaiden pretended to write on a piece of paper, ripped it aggressively, crumpled it, and then threw it.
I was so taken back. She literally gave me the death stare, ripped up her receipt, crumpled it, threw it while still looking at me, and then started writing again and was like, small vanilla ice cream. And I was like, this is just too much. Like, I'm just trying to get ice cream. Long story short, she was a little B word.
Jaiden's really holding on to this. Like, she's really, like, the passion in that story, like, she's really holding on to this. Jaiden, we're working on letting go, right?
Yes, we are working on letting go. And, like, if you guys know me, I'm the type of person that I'm just like, if that kind of happens, I'm just kind of like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, I'm
yeah.
But literally, I looked at her and I go,
not your fault.
I was like, I gave her, like, the weirdest look, like the "are you good" look. So I think that probably made her more mad. But I'm like, girl, you need to chill. Like, it's an ice cream shop. I know you're busy, but, like,
but also Dairy Freeze is busy all the time. You know exactly what you're signing up for when you get that job, because everyone that works there is local. They either live in Kingsville or Essex. So everyone knows Dairy Freeze and they know exactly what they're signing up for.
Yeah. So then she, like, slams my ice cream down, and I literally look at my cousin and I go, what's her problem? And I think she heard me, but I was like, this is too much. Like, usually I keep my mouth shut, but, like, girl, you need to like go take a second, like, compose yourself, and then come back. Like, I know you're busy and I know it's a little overwhelming, but, like, take a chill pill. So anyways, that was the rude girl at Dairy Freeze. Excuse me.
Well, I'm sorry you had a negative experience at the best soft serve in Essex County, but it's fine.
Oh, it's fine. You know what? Everyone has bad days. She's probably a nice girl, just had a moment, but, like, I was not having it. I was like, is she good? Like, who pissed in your Cheerios this morning? But, like, it's fine.
It's usually what the issue is.
So then continuing on to my good, sorry, that turned into a longer story than I expected. But we were just talking about purchases, but I bought a new plant at Colasante's, Ardeen, tomato, whatever. And I got, like, a little macrame hanger for it, and it's actually hanging up in the corner of my bedroom. Oh, if you can see it. It's so cute. It's like a little hangy plant. If you guys want to look it up, it's called, like, a Brazilian tropical heartleaf plant.
Ooh.
And it's in a pot that says, "You grow, girl."
Stop it.
Stop. I love a good pun, and I just think that's so darn cute, so I had to get it. It's hanging up in my room. I love it. Hopefully I don't kill it. I think I'll be a good plant mom, but who knows?
Keep us updated.
I'll keep you guys updated. And then my great is just dance. I feel like I say it all the time. I love my job. I love dance. I love creating. I love moving. And I don't know. We've just been doing so much choreography lately, and I feel like it's just been such a release for my soul. Sorry, that's a little deep, but whatever.
Ooh, getting deep already.
If you guys are, like, a choreographer or a dancer or just, like, any sort of creative, you know, when you create something, it just kind of, like, makes your heart happy and, like, sets your soul on fire. Like, it's such a good feeling to be in your element. So I've been taking more dance classes lately. Shout out to Jill and Kiana. Those are the 2 classes I've been taking so far. I want to expand a little bit more. And I've also been feeling more creative lately. And I think it was just from my vacation, like, being in nature, and then also just kind of I don't know, grounding myself a bit, because when you're really like in your own element and within yourself, I feel like you can be a little bit more creative because you know
Totally.
what you want, kind of. And I don't know, man, I just love dance. I love it.
Me too.
I'm just literally, I'm just so happy that we're both able to do something that we love every single day, because
Absolutely.
I know it's truly one of our deepest passions. So I just want to be like that 80-year-old that's still busting a move and like
Absolutely.
rocking it on the dance floor.
No doubt that is exactly what you will be.
I really hope so.
Not a doubt in my mind.
I'm putting that into the universe as well. I want to be that 80-year-old that like still does ballet and back handsprings.
Can you do back handspring right now?
I can. I
Okay,
still got it.
I still got it.
Okay,
let's make sure we can do a back handspring before we say that we want to do it when we're 80. I can't do a back handspring, so
that's okay.
That will not be in my cards, but it's fine.
Maybe you could go in the Guinness World Record book for like the oldest lady to learn a back handspring.
I think I would end up broken.
Don't say that.
I just really think that like if I decided to learn a back handspring when I was 80, I would need the life alert button. Like, help, I've fallen and I can't get up. I just think that's reality.
Well, then you could be sponsored by them and get some cash. You know,
then I would not be able to do anything because I would be bedridden with all my surgeries and hip replacements and knee replacements that I have.
But then you'd have lots of money from.
Stop trying to find the positive in this situation. It's not happening.
Anyways, let's hear your 3 Gs.
Oh my God, that
enough
was
of
wild.
me talking.
That was wild. Okay, so for my gross, this is a trigger warning because I'm going to talk about my bones a little bit. So if you're someone that doesn't like hearing about weird bone things happening, then maybe just press the fast forward button. But my knees are really like making like a not wonderful like grinding kind of sound. Ooh. Like, yeah, and it's been happening for like a while because of dance, so my joints aren't great, but like it's kind of just gotten like I just notice it more, or maybe it happens more often, I don't know. But like my mom has a couple friends that are physiotherapists and I keep meaning to ask them for like exercises or like what I can do to like not destroy my knees, you know what I mean? But yeah, I keep forgetting. So apparently I'm just like dealing with creaky, grinding 90-year-old knees as a 24-year-old. And I just choreographed a tap solo and the outside. So I did tap for 3 hours and the outside of my ankles. Yesterday it was just one, today it's both, are like, they tight. Like it feels like the tendons just went. They just tightened right up.
No movement allowed.
Yeah. So good thing we're driving today to go to the mall, but it's fine.
Oh my gosh. Wait, no. I feel like anybody, sorry to cut you off.
It's okay.
Anybody who like grew up dancing competitively, like from a young age, like let us know in the comments or like send us a little message. Like, are you broken? And 15?
The answer is yes.
Yeah. Are you broken in 15 or are you like disabled in 25?
And I would like to point out that I am like not very flexible. I've never been flexible. So I think of some of our students that can literally bend in half in disgusting ways. And I would love to talk to them when they're 25.
Like they're gonna, like, I don't mean to sound whatever. They're gonna need like a wheelchair because they're not gonna be able to walk.
They're gonna need some serious chiropractors and physiotherapists to help them not be totally yellow.
Because if I'm putting my head to my calf muscle, like if I'm bending that far backwards, like my back's broken.
Yeah.
Like I don't have a
spine. But they don't even feel it. Like
I know they're like
weird.
I'm like, do you feel it? They're like, no.
And I'm like,
I don't even know how to help you.
Yeah, honestly. So that's where my gross is. I'm just falling apart and it's fine. It's fine.
We're aging really well.
Thanks. My good is I took a bath.
Oh, now, we love baths.
I would like to preface this with it's been a really long time since I've taken a bath. I always forget that we have a jet tub in our basement bathroom since I only ever use the upstairs bathroom. Like the downstairs bathroom is my dad's.
And guys, it's actually like a huge.
Yeah, it's like a jet
tub.
Like it's a jet tub. But last Wednesday I had already showered in the morning and I was wanting like a little soak. And our hot tub is just a decoration in our backyard, which means it's broken. So my brain was like, oh wait, we have a jet tub downstairs. So I go down, I made the water perfect temperature. I added some moisturizing bubble bath. I turned on Nick Vile's podcast and I just sat there and I just soaked in the water. And it was great. Next time I have to put a little bit more water so I can cover from like under boob to collarbone. Just the way I was laying, this was open. So I just need a little bit more water.
Were you cold?
No, it was great. Cause I was laying like this. So the water was like at my neck, under my shoulders. It was literally just my chest.
Oh, but you want to be like
that was open. I want like only my head to be above the water. You know what I mean?
Of course. That's
so
the only right way to do a bath.
Yeah. So I'm going to give that bath an 8 out of 10, which is a score I can absolutely live with. And we'll just aim for a 10 out of 10 next time.
For sure.
So that's
congratulations. That's a great bath score.
Thank you. It was really good.
I'm proud of you.
My great hasn't happened yet, but it'll happen when you guys listen to the podcast or watch it on YouTube. So we're just going to count it. And my great is Jaiden and I are taking a day trip to London. I'm excited. After Jaiden had talked about how much she like loved her trip with Connor, I was like, I have to get away. I was like, I need to go somewhere just even for like a day before like real life starts again. And in true Faith fashion, I texted Jaiden a couple days ago and I was like, I have a crazy idea. And last time I texted her saying I have a crazy idea, we started a podcast.
That's so true.
So I could only imagine where her brain was going when I was like, I have a wild idea. And she goes, hit me. And I was like, want to take a day trip to London and go shopping at the Masonville Mall? And she said, absolutely, I do. So after we are done recording this podcast, Jaiden is going to drive her little car to my house. We're going to get in my Jeep. We're going to listen to my road trip playlist or maybe Melissa's Dirty Beats playlist, which I guess I can announce to everyone. You guys, I have officially stopped subscribing to Apple Music, and I am a Spotify premium gal. I never thought I would say that. I never thought I would say that, but I did, and so far I have no regrets. I'm very excited about it. So we can listen to Spotify with no commercials. Woo! And it's going to be great. Now, we're going shopping. Now, I know people are like, oh God, Faith shopping again. Surprise, surprise. But listen, haters, okay? I haven't been shopping where like the goal of the outing is shopping since before Corona. Like, I know that I've like ordered stuff and I've done a lot of that, whatever, but I haven't like gone to the mall to go shopping in a while. So back up off me. Let me have my day. I'm going to spend probably too much money, but I'm okay with it.
Nailed it.
I'm excited about it. I'm going to go to, like Jane said, we're going to Aritzia first. I have a list of things that I like definitely need to buy myself. Like I know I want something from Aritzia. I know I want to go to Bath and Body Works because I need more hand sanitizer. Like I got a list of things that I would like to get. I want some nice tank tops from Lululemon or another like athletic store to teach in. Like I got a list of things that I know I want.
We're going all out.
Jaiden, we're shopping.
I know, I'm scared.
At least I'm shopping. I don't know about you. I'm shopping. You can do whatever you want, but I told you when Jaiden said to me that she wants me to yell at her if I buy anything, I said I am totally down for that, except it has to start Saturday because I'm in shopping mode on Friday, which means if you say, should I get this? My answer is yes. Unless it really makes you look like you're wearing a garbage bag, the answer is yes.
Yeah, I was talking to Connor. He was like, are you actually going shopping like again? And I'm like, yeah. And then he goes, I already know, because I was like, I'm not going to buy anything. Like, I'm not going to buy anything.
I think I'm going to buy more than Jaiden for sure. Like, hands down. I think I'm going to walk out with the most amount of bags. And I think you're going to buy a couple things, but I don't see you going too crazy.
Connor was like, you're definitely going to come back with socks. And I'm like, okay, I can do that.
Weird.
I can bring back socks. I'm a sucker for some socks.
Although I do need some more ankle socks. So if we find some ankle socks that I like, I will be buying them.
No,
Add
me
that
too.
to my list.
Me too, because my mom always takes my ankle socks.
I also only like a specific type of ankle sock. Like I don't like the ankle socks that actually like cover your ankle. You know what I mean? I like specifically the Nike ankle socks that they're thin and they literally like stop at your ankle so they hide when I put my running shoes on. I don't like looking at ankle socks in my running shoes.
Oh my God, I'm so happy someone agrees with me on that.
It's not my vibe.
Like, even if the sock is the same color as the shoe, I do not like the way it looks. Like, it needs to look like I'm not wearing any socks.
Yes, unless I'm purposely wearing like my Nike Pro socks that like go up to like lower
Mhm.
calf. You know what I mean? That's like,
Yes.
that's a look. That's like a separate
Yes.
look that I was
Yes.
aiming for. If I'm not
Yes.
aiming for a sock look, I don't want to see it.
No, not at all.
And on that note, those are our 3Gs.
Heck.
That was a very intense 3G segment.
It went
Wow,
in
you
multiple
guys.
directions.
Fizz and feelings, I feel like might fly by now because I think we got all of our emotions out during the 3Gs. But speaking of emotions, let's tell you what we're talking about this week.
Okay, girl, what are we talking about?
As you guys know, this season we are taking our Fizz and Feelings segment in a brand new direction by bringing you guys our emotion series so we can get hashtag in our feels. Last week we started off the only way we know how on this podcast with some joy. So before we dive into our new emotion, we put on our story, what brings you guys joy? And we had a couple really great answers that I want to share. Jaiden, I think you have them there, but I think I memorized them. One was their dog.
Yep.
Which is so cute.
I love that.
Another was their family or their kids.
Love you, Mom.
That was Colleen. We love Colleen. And there was one more that I wanted to share, right?
Diving into a good book.
Diving into a good book. Yes. So those are some things that bring us joy. And we love that. Thank you for sharing. But this week, however, we're going to flip the switch a little bit. Again, like Drake, because we love Drake on this podcast. I just flip the switch. Flip. Yeah. So this week we're going to talk about an emotion that we never like to admit that we're feeling, the emotion that can turn us into a monster if we don't keep it at bay, and the emotion that Mindy Kaling so wonderfully portrayed in Pixar's Inside Out. You guessed it, envy. So what is envy? Envy is a feeling of discontent or resentful longing aroused by someone else's possessions, qualities, or luck. It's the little green-eyed monster that loves to just pop up when we least expect it.
So guys, our fizz and our feelings. Let's sip on some tasty fizz. I got my citrus today.
Or some coffee if that's what you need to get through the day.
And let's dive deep into the feeling of envy.
Robot
How do
Jaiden.
we feel envy and what does it mean?
She's good. She was just a robot, so I was just acting it out for our YouTube viewers.
How do we feel envy and what does it mean to us? So for me, envy is a very tricky feeling. It likes to rent space in our brains during vulnerable moments and feeds off of overthinking.
Yeah.
It's like it likes to play little tricks on us and really, really, really tries to invalidate our own successes and growth.
Totally.
Oh my gosh. So for me, envy and jealousy ties in with the word intoxicating, because I find that's how the emotion overtakes my body sometimes. It's almost like it clouds every other judgment and just kind of hits me like a truck.
Totally.
Honestly, like a wildfire. It hits me so randomly, so quickly, so infectiously, and I have to try to figure out like how to diffuse this disaster of an emotion, honestly.
Right. So
sometimes I know when people feel this emotion, it's hard to talk yourself out of it, especially when she comes in full force.
And she can come in so
full
strong.
Force and in extreme moments of vulnerability.
Totally.
But what you have to do is just rationalize the situation and identify what you're feeling, why you're feeling it, is it worth the energy, and how are you going to combat it?
Totally.
And
so I just want to preface, sometimes, and Jaiden, you could touch on this, but I just want to say really quick, sometimes when we get to the question, is it worth our energy? Don't feel bad if you know that it's not, but you still can't stop ruminating in that thought. And I only say this just because this was an experience I had in we're going to call it a moment of weakness yesterday. I knew I was being ridiculous. I knew that what I was saying was ridiculous. And I knew that I am a better person than what I was experiencing, but I couldn't get out of that circle. And now that I'm on the other side, I realized that like all that mattered in that moment was that I acknowledged it. And I knew that what I was feeling wasn't okay. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So even though I couldn't get past it right away, I did the right thing for me by just acknowledging that this is not the person I want to be. This is wrong. Because now that I'm on the other side, I can pay attention for that and move forward and figure out how to fix that for myself. You know what I mean?
For sure. Definitely like feel the feeling, acknowledge it, embrace it for a little sec, but then you got to kind of navigate through it.
I mean, if you know how to not embrace it, like if you know how to like experience the feeling, be like, no, I don't like this, and shut it down, I bow down to you because I'm jealous.
No,
I'm envious of your ability to do that. Didn't mean to do that, but it worked.
When I say, is it worth the energy? Really, really ask yourself, like, not is this valid, but like, kinda. Like, do I need to be feeling this right now? Is it really how I'm truly looking at my life? Like, is it real life? Because sometimes I find when it comes to envy, people make up little stories in their head, like kind of how I said, envy loves overthinking. So you start to overthink and you're like, well, I'm not good at this, I'm not good at that, they're better than me. So like, is it worth you going into this like pity party for you to just realize at the end that no, I'm great and I just had a moment? Like,
totally.
I don't know. That's where I'm saying, is it worth your energy? Ask yourself, do I need to be spending brain power on feeling this way, or can I identify that nope, this isn't true, I'm going to move on and I'm going to navigate through this emotion? That's where I'm going with that. Definite. And if it is worth the energy for a second to feel it and then move on, like, do your thing, girlfriend. But when I feel envious, I start to, like I said, invalidate everything good about myself. I'll start to be like, well, why don't I look like that? Or why can't I do what she's doing? Or why is my life this way and their life is like that? Like, this isn't fair. No. Like, I really, really, really start to have a pity party, which is no bueno. We don't want that. So I identify the problem and tell myself, okay, I'm feeling envious of this situation, but why? And then I begin to deep understanding emotion and I identify why. So my little brain says, I'm feeling this way because of X, Y, Z. Okay, Jaiden, that's fine. You're human. You're allowed to have feelings, but is it worth it? Like, is this really valid? Just because someone is doing great doesn't mean you can't be doing great as well, which is so important to remember with this silly emotion. And I feel like we say that quote a lot, but I'll literally say it until I die. It is like the most important thing to remember. Guilty as charged. Hey,
I'm guilty of saying it. I'll tell myself that, but I'm not quite at the level of believing it yet. You know what I mean? Like, I say it, and every morning I do my affirmations and I say, like, other people's success does not diminish all the hard work and value I've put in to be where I am at in my life. And I say it, and I'm close to believing it. There's some days I really do believe it, and there's some days when that envy feeling, whether it's like really strong or even just a little bit for some reason, has a hard time like really solidifying that, but we're working on it.
And that's okay. Like, as long as you identify like that's the way that you're feeling, and you know that like, hey, I need to work on this part of myself, like, you're already winning. Like, that's already a great step, because some people don't even realize that what they're doing, you know what I mean? And I think what would help you in that situation, because I used to be very much like that, like I would know it, but I wouldn't be able to like truly apply it to myself, is like, just write down your blessings. This goes for anybody who feels this way, because that's what I used to do. I would just write down my blessings. Like, okay, well, what am I good at? Or not even like good at, but what do I value about myself? Bless you!
I'm so sorry.
You're okay.
That came on so fast. I tried to say, I'm gonna sneeze, but as it was happening. I'm so sorry.
You're good.
So sorry. We're back.
Long story short, write down things you value about yourself. Write down your blessings and count your blessings, and stop counting other people's blessings, because everybody is different.
Right.
So I continue with this, okay, is it valid? Is it worth it? And my little brain again goes, yeah, obviously I know that, Jaiden. I know people are allowed to thrive independently, but how am I going to get over this? I'm just so caught up in this feeling right now, and this sucks. Like, pity party. Well, Jaiden's brain, this is what you're going to do. you're going to realize that you also have some great things about yourself. And maybe if you're feeling a little envious towards what this person is doing, let that inspire you to work harder and to maybe be in their position at some point, or even just embrace their successes, and maybe some good karma will come your way. Like, why are you going to waste, and this is why I'm talking about, is it worth your energy, so much negative energy on things that you can't control? Bad idea. Bad idea.
And I want to say, I can't remember what episode we talked about this in, maybe the support episode in season 1, but we've definitely talked about paying attention to that fine line of, if you're feeling this way, appreciating people's successes, but that line is so small from like overstepping and all of a sudden being fake with your support, and like, you know what I mean? That,
yes.
I forget what episode we talked about it in, but reminder, keep that little tiny line in mind.
Exactly. Because I find envy also comes with a sense of like not having control.
Yeah.
Like you can't control what someone else is doing, so then it makes you envious because you really, really, really want to be in their position and you want to do exactly what they're doing or whatever.
Yeah.
But you can't control it because that's not how life works. Everybody is different. Everybody has different paths. Everybody thrives differently. Everyone's strengths are different.
Right.
So no, you're not going to be like Bella Hadid. You're not going to be like Hailey Bieber. Like, it's just not going to happen. You can look up to them and be inspired by what they're doing, but do not be envious over them when you are just as great, but in different ways. Like,
totally.
It is not worth that vicious cycle in your head, and it's not worth the overthinking. It's not worth your energy. Like, just let it go. Feel it and then let it go.
Yeah.
So basically,
and it's much easier said than done. Like,
oh my gosh,
much easier said than done. I know Jaiden speaks it so easily, and like, don't let her fool you. Like, she's not like, and I'm not throwing her under the bus. I mean this for myself too. Like, we are practicing what we preach just as much as we're telling you guys how we feel about a topic. You know what I mean? So like, we by no means are like masters of envy.
Exactly.
Let me tell you.
Nope.
We are not.
We are not masters at being a human. We are not.
I wish, but no.
Oh my gosh. And I think what helps Faith and I with these outlooks is just, we recognize our faults. We recognize what we need to work on, and we embrace it. Like, we embrace our weaknesses.
Was that great? My sister, everybody.
Guys, she just started school as a vet tech. Congratulations. Anyways, Faith and I are not masters of being a human. We're not masters of anything.
No.
We are just humans, and we're just really good at embracing our weaknesses.
We're self-aware.
We're very good at being self-aware, but boy, did that not happen overnight.
No.
That did. And it still isn't happening. Like, there's still like, it's a part of evolving. It's a part of growing up. It's a part of dealing with experiences, learning from experiences. And that's why we started this platform, was to hopefully help people like have these realizations that we had at some point, or even like grow and learn with us. Like, we're not coming on here to preach to the choir. Like, we're coming here because we want to make a change, and we want to help. We just want to help people.
Yeah.
We love helping people. So just know, like, we're right in the same boat with you.
Totally.
Like, we're still struggling, but we're in it together. We're in it together. So long story short, don't let envy trick you into thinking you're incapable of doing great things. Because that's happened to me on multiple occasions. And yes, this emotion is powerful. Yes, this emotion can devalue your worth. And yes, this emotion can bring the worst out in people. It's truly the devil of all emotions, because it plays a game with yourself. But as we've been saying, by understanding how this emotion affects you, it will only be more beneficial towards your growth and towards how you combat it and learn to deal with it. Totally. So know your key steps in order to rationalize this devil of an emotion. know what you're feeling, know why you're feeling it. Is it worth the energy, and how are you going to combat it? So what, why, worth, how. Write it down.
Write it down.
Write it down.
Write it down. Wow,
I sure as hell wrote it down.
Good thoughts.
Thank you. I can't wait to hear yours.
Good thought.
You dove really deep into like 2 different levels, I see, which is super cool.
I wouldn't say super deep. I just talk about an experience of mine. It's like, yeah.
I think
I'm gonna try and go.
So
I'm gonna try and go quick because we've talked a lot today. So envy is a super strange character, a very weird feeling, and especially for me because I know that I'm living a very suitable, fortunate life. That at any time, when I experience jealousy or envy, I look back and wonder why did I have to feel like this? I'm living a very, very nice life. And I guess when I think of envy or jealousy, I think of it at different levels. So the first being very surface level, materialistic, the superficial stuff. Mm-hmm. Stuff like being jealous of how much money someone has, or the house they live in, or the car they drive, or that they have a significant other, or whatever it is. This is the kind of envy that I don't want to say is okay, but I guess manageable is a better word. You can feel it, you can acknowledge it, but you can still feel secure and comfortable with what you have because you remember that there's probably someone out there saying the same thing about your life.
And I think with that level of envy, it doesn't really like hit you deep in the core. It's just like, I wish I had that.
Yeah.
Like that, it doesn't like really affect your brain.
And if you're going to try and tell me that you've never felt this kind of envy before, I'm going to have to say you're lying. And if you're not lying, please send me your tips and send your tips, like share your tips with the world because you will be a millionaire. People have you do TED Talks because like, wow, no one is a master at controlling their superficial envy. So that's impressive. The next level, or I guess like the deeper level of envy, is the kind that can turn you into a different person. The kind that can make you say things or feel things that you have a hard time explaining or putting into words. All you know is that you're so envious of like this person, you would do anything and everything to be in their shoes. Luckily, I can't really pinpoint a time where I felt this kind of envy, which I guess is nice. I guess that's really lucky for me, and I hope it stays that clean. The closest time I can think of when I felt like this, like, or pretty envious, or at least the strongest form of envy, was I think around a year ago. One of my best friends in the whole world found herself this great significant other. Now enter vulnerable Faith, because this was crazy. This is an occurrence, like obviously like friends, like having boyfriends or girlfriends or whatever, has happened many times in my life. Like I don't live under a rock. But for some reason this time was different for me. I remember it came to a point where I had to drive them home. So I dropped them off and they got out of the car. And as I drove away, I started like crying, and clearly crying is how I emote any emotion that I'm feeling in my body, positive or negative. I started crying because I was just so envious of the fact that she found an amazing person and gets to create all these like special, memorable moments with them. Now, don't get me wrong. I was so happy for her because like she went through some BS in her last relationship. So like, and I knew the person she was with now, and I knew that like she would be fine. Like I knew that it was exactly what she needed. But I was so happy, but so envious all at the same time. And then classic Faith, don't worry, me and the universe had a great conversation when I drove home, talked out loud. It's helped me like calm down, but like nonetheless, that feeling of envy was still there. And the last thing I want to say is that I think if we want to be able to control our envy, to get on top of it and limit its ability to affect us, we have to recognize how it feels in our body, because everyone's different. So for me, I feel it in the pit of my chest, like not even in my stomach. It's like the middle of my heart almost. And it feels like a tiny ball that's burning, not on fire, not like when you're happy and you just like feel like you could explode.
Like beaming. It's not beaming.
No, it's this tiny, like, it feels like a ping pong ball almost, like something really small that's just like it's burning. It's on fire, sitting in my chest. It's like heavy, I guess, like not like a light beam. It's heavy. So once we can recognize how our envy, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like manifests itself inside of our body, then we can figure out how to control it and what works for us. So for me, literally speaking out loud to the universe seems to help immensely. Although I still sometimes don't understand why certain people and experience may trigger that emotion in me, I know that if I like talk to the universe, I do feel better. But maybe I'm not supposed to understand why certain experiences or
Yeah.
certain people trigger envy in me. Maybe I'm not there yet. Maybe the
Yeah.
universe wants me to figure out how to control my emotion, and then when I know how to control it, the universe will let me understand why that was a trigger in the past. Do you know what I mean? Like,
No,
as much as we
yeah.
want to know, and I think of my own life too, as much as we want to know why certain experiences, certain things, certain people, certain times of the day, certain whatever makes us feel a certain way, maybe we're not ready to know why that is yet.
And I think sometimes we don't need to know. Like,
Right.
and I feel like in a lot of situations, sometimes the less we know, the better, because
Yeah.
it could hurt us. Like if we actually understood why it was happening and why you were feeling that way, maybe it would do more harm than good.
But it could hurt us because we're not ready to understand why.
Exactly.
So in the future, you'll be able to look back and be like, this made me jealous because of this. And I can know that now and understand that now because I know how to cope and I'm secure with myself and where I'm at in life. Whereas before, 10 years ago, whatever, I wasn't there and it would have absolutely done more harm than good.
Which is kind of crazy because then it's like the universe and like your body and your brain literally like sheltering you
Totally.
from self-destruction.
Totally. It always comes back to the universe.
That's crazy. Actually,
always comes back to the universe.
If you think of that concept, it's like your brain literally turns a button off for you to understand it, because if it turned it on, you would self-destruct basically. Like it would just, wow.
Crazy.
That's a really cool concept.
Crazy. But like I said, and Jaiden said it too, I can assure you all that I am nowhere close to perfect. And I really do try very hard to practice what I preach and be a good person and, you know, be as positive as I can all the time. But sometimes I fail. We all do. We all can't be perfect every day. And I can promise you that I'm working as hard as I can to find control and to come out as a better person for it. And I know Jaiden's doing the same. And I know all of you guys listening, whether you've admitted it to yourself or not, are subconsciously doing the same. And we're all going to be okay. We're all going to be able to fight this green-eyed monster that pops up when we don't want her there. But yeah, those are my thoughts. And Jaiden's frozen. Well, those are my thoughts, you guys.
Very, very, very great thoughts, Faith. I'm still a little bit overwhelmed with that one concept that you were talking about. Like my brain kind of is exploding
about the universe, but it's all good. We love that. We love leaving that impression after our thoughts. Makes you think.
I love it. It leaves you thinking for sure.
Totally keeps you thinking. But it's time. We've made it to the end. We've kept you guys long enough. I really didn't think this was going to be a long one. I thought we were going to kind of fly through it, but we had lots to say.
We had so much to say today.
So much to say, but we can't let you guys go before we do our quote of the moment segment. So you guys know we each find a quote that, you know, represents what we've talked about today, kind of sums it up, gives our short little thoughts on it, short and sweet, and then hopefully leave you thinking a little bit more. Mm-hmm. So my quote is from, I got it off of Pinterest, but it's from heartfeltquotes.blogspot.com. And it says, jealousy isn't always materialistic. People envy how others love you, show love to you, and have love for you. People envy the way you handled a situation that they couldn't. What would have broken them didn't break you. They envy because something they couldn't get past was a breeze for you. And that one got me, because we always look at envy and jealousy with a negative lens. If you rewind the episode and listen to my fizz and feelings thoughts, like that's absolutely what it was. But this quote kind of changed my perspective, which I love. We're all here on this earth with different skill sets, different strengths, different weaknesses, literally all just trying to survive. Some people started out with an easier time surviving than others, and it may look like that from the outside, but we also don't know what they've dealt with to build that skill set, to deal with a situation without even blinking an eye when you know that that moment would have broken you in half for sure. We're all just trying to do our best and survive. And if someone is envious of you on that deeper level, try and take it as a compliment. So being on the other side of that envy, don't be like, oh, they're such a jealous person. Why are they jealous of me? Like, whatever. Take it as a compliment. You're doing something that they can't. Don't look down on them for it. Step up, be a better mentor for them so they can get to that place and be that person for someone else that needs it. That's something I needed to hear and to figure out. So maybe someone else out there needed it too, but that quote got me for sure.
I think it's great. Like, that's one of the best quotes I think we've had on the podcast since day one. Like, because I totally thought jealousy was just materialistic. Totally thought it was materialistic. But then it goes to say how, like, people envy how others love you. People envy how you get through things. Like, like, what is easy for you is hard for them. Like, people envy that. And hell yeah. Like, there's so many moments where I'm like, why couldn't I have dealt with something like this person? Or like, why is this person getting so much love? Like, I'm doing this, like, you know what I mean? Yep. And I think that's really important to know that, like, jealousy isn't just materialistic. So then you can start to understand yourself a bit more. And like Faith said, build that skill set to deal with that situation. So
totally.
Wow. That one I was not expecting. That was really good.
Thank you.
My quote today is by Harold Coffin.
Come on, Harold.
Let's go, Harold. He said, envy is the art of counting other fellows' blessings instead of their own, which is exactly what I do whenever I'm envious towards someone. Like, I immediately start to look at the other person's blessings and successes and forget to appreciate my own. Because I'm like, well, I want that. And I feel like I've worked hard and I should be doing that.
Yeah. But it's easy to see the voids in our own life and like what we're missing that someone else has than it is to like look inward and see what you have. It's easier to see what's missing.
And the funny thing is maybe people are looking at your life or like my life and are like, wow, I really wish I was doing what she was doing, or I really wish.
I say it all the time. Whatever. I say, I wish I could handle the situation like Jaiden did. I've said it probably more in the last 48 hours than I have ever before. But
and then I'm always like, I wish I could just do what I does as a person. Like, she's always on the go. So it's just, oh, did I?
No, you're good. We heard you. You're good. No, you roboted, but we heard you. You're okay.
Okay, cute. Yeah. No, so it just, we always want what we don't have or what we can't have, or you know what I'm trying to say. And we need to just know that everybody was built differently, raised differently, and meant for different journeys. And the moment you realize that is the moment you become wiser than envy.
Totally.
If you can just understand and resonate with that fact, that is the moment that you shut the door on envy, or at least just like, the door may open back up. Who knows?
You just tell it to go away for a second.
You just say,
you're welcome.
Exactly. You say, get out of here.
Totally.
So don't forget to appreciate yourself and all that you do as a human, because like I said, yes, someone may be killing it, but girl, look at you, or boy, look at you, or like, just look at what you're doing. Because yes, like if me and Faith stand side by side right next to each other, we have two completely different stories.
Yeah.
Like, and we're both successful and awesome and great in our own ways, but we also have our faults in our own ways. Two completely different stories, but we still are killing it in our own ways.
Totally.
And say we have the same story, what's the fun in that? Like, Faith is older than me, so I would already know all the answers for everything. And then like,
I do not know all the answers, but thank you.
But you know what I mean? Like, if we had the same story, like you would go from point A to point B to point C to point D, and I would be like, well, this is how she got to point D, so I'm just going to do what she did. It'd be boring. It'd be so boring. And it's literally like watching a movie you've already seen 5,000 times and you know all the words to. Like, that's how it would be. And yes, that's great, and it's fun, and you know what's happening next, but it's boring. You want something new.
It's very boring.
So embrace your blessings, embrace your differences, embrace your journey, and know that you are so worthy of happiness, even if that happiness looks a little different than the person sitting next to you. Just embrace it.
Totally. Mm-hmm. Good work.
Good work. That was a great quote of the moment.
Wow, we nailed it with that one.
We really, really did. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. Sorry we kept you so long. We were just so excited to talk with you all today.
So many thoughts today.
So many thoughts. If you have to split it up in 2 days, do it. Live your life. We hope you enjoyed today's episode, and we'll stay tuned for the rest of this In Your Feels season. It was such a great episode, and we got in our feels a little bit.
We did get in our feels.
But that's okay. Also, huge shout out again for anyone that bought some season 1 merch. We just delivered, when this podcast comes out, we just delivered all of the packages this past weekend, and we were so freaking happy and humbled by everyone who purchased. So just like, thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts. Please do not forget to take some cute pics and tag us on our social media. We want to see you sporting our new merch.
And we might just do a little mini restock, maybe.
Oh,
we did a poll on our Instagram, and 75% of you said that you would buy if we did a restock. So maybe stay tuned.
So maybe check us out on our social media to keep you guys updated.
Maybe.
If you haven't followed us already, follow us on Instagram at Let's Talk with Jaiden and Faith, Facebook, Let's Talk About It Podcast, TikTok, woohoo, at Let's Talk About It Pod, and our YouTube channel, Let's Talk About It with Jaiden and Faith.
Subscribe, turn on the notifications, comment where you can, click the button that says red as the pen I had last week. Just, give us all the love, and like comment on everything, even if it's just an emoji. Like, we love having you guys interact with us on social media, and we love to see it. So just like leave us a comment.
Also, Grandma Lois, I didn't touch my hair that much today. Are you proud of me?
Yeah, you guys, when you're dropping off merch, we dropped it off at my grandma because she got some merch, and after we're done talking, she goes, "You lady," and points to Jaiden, goes, "touch your hair way too much," because she's converted to YouTube. She's watching us on YouTube now. So my hair was up, Lois. Okay, I didn't touch it.
Jaiden I didn't touch it as
either.
much.
So
I took your request. Request,
yes.
Is that the right word?
Yeah,
anyway.
Her suggestion.
Your suggestion. We love you. You're our biggest supporter, honestly.
Honestly, she is.
But before you close, whatever app you listen to us on, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Simplecast, YouTube, whatever it may be, please take a moment and give us a 5-star rating and leave a review about how amazing this new season is.
Yes, we would love that so much.
And we're still trying to reach that goal of 500 followers on Insta. So tell your friends, tell your friends' friends, tell your grandmas, tell your dogs, tell your cats, tell your lizards, whatever it is.
Everything.
Help some sisters out, and let's spread some light to everyone around the world. Let's just share this positivity.
Yes, and before we sign off, Jaiden, we are recording this podcast on 9/11. So America, our thoughts are with you today.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, anyways, take it home.
Rock on. We love you guys, and Black Lives Matter.
Wear your mask.
Peace out.
Wear your mask, everybody.